Hey pandas, so in this video I decided to do my own little take on Ravenna, the evil queen in the Huntsman Winter's War. I've already done my base, and for contouring I'll be using my Wet n Wild contouring palette with an angled brush and really making sure to contour more than I normally would because Ravenna does have very cut cheekbones. To further define my contour, I'll be taking a fluffy brush and the gray shadow out of the Maybelline Naked palette, and I'll just be putting that right underneath my cheekbone, and then I'll go in with a fluffier angled brush to blend out and diffuse the gray color. One side was just a bit too intense for what I was wanting, so I just went over it with my foundation brush just to tone it down a little bit. And with whatever's left on the fluffy brush, I'll just be contouring right underneath my bottom lip and around my nose a bit. For my brows, I'll be using an angled brush and that same gray shadow. Now this isn't quite accurate to what Ravenna looks like. She actually has blonde hair and lighter brows, but that wouldn't really work with my darker brown hair, so I decided to put some darker, more intense brows on my face. If you're gonna do this look for Halloween and you're gonna be wearing a blonde wig or already have blonde hair, you could use a lighter brown shade if you'd prefer. Then with a fluffy brush, I'll be blending that light brown shade into my crease to define it and use it more as a transition shade for the darker colors I'm going to put on later. Then with the same fluffy brush and a darker brown, I'm going to be again blending the color into my crease and just slightly on my lid, making sure to diffuse the edges so that it's not a harsh line. Then I will dip into that same gray shade that I used for my brows and contour and really create more of a V cut in my crease. Again, blending out the edges of it to make it look diffused and not so harsh. With that same fluffy brush, I'll be using an even darker brown out of the Maybelline 24K Nudes palette. And I'll again just be blending that in my crease and on my outer corner in a more of a V formation. I'll also be blending it underneath my lower lash line a bit. To blend it all out and diffuse the harsh line, I'll be using a different clean fluffy brush, just going in circular motions, blending out any harsh edges and diffusing it into the inner part of my lid, but not actually packing the color on that part. Then with a flat brush and my Anastasia lip palette, I'll be using the primary 4 or the yellow color and packing it onto the inner corner and the center part of my lid. I'm using this as a base color for my Bare Minerals Gold Loose Pigment. To pack that loose pigment on top of that yellow color, I'll just be using a small flat brush.
That's good.
After that, I'll be using that same small flat brush and I'll dip into the gold color out of the Maybelline 24K Nudes and just put it right on top of that yellow and gold pigment just to darken it and enhance it even further. I really went with a lot of gold and black pigments in this look since it is Ravenna's colors. After that, with a fluffy brush, I blended in the black shadow just a little bit out of the Maybelline Nudes palette. Decided to do this after I packed on the gold so that the line between the gold shade and the darker browns wouldn't be as harsh. It would be a bit more diffused and look almost as if the gold was fading into the black. After that, I used a small dome brush and the Mary Kay Mineral Eye color in glistening gold. I just put that in my inner corners, a little bit underneath my inner corner, as well as under my brow bone to really highlight everything. I also used my highlighter from Milani and just put that under my brow bone as well. I highlight on my cheekbones, the tip of my nose, and my cupid's bow. I use that same Mary Kay eye color with a fluffy fan brush and just lightly feathered that all over. Then I went back to that Bare Minerals gold pigment and put it in the same spots, making it a bit more intense just to make it seem as if she was glistening gold. Then with a powder brush and my Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in the color Party, I just very, very lightly put just a little bit of blush on. For my lip color, I used the shade 11 out of the Anastasia lip palette, as well as a pointed lip brush, and just made sure to make the lines of my lips very crisp. I used this color more as a base for a black color that I was going to put on later with a domed brush. For the most part, Ravenna had a very natural lip throughout the movie, but there was a point where she did have black spilling out of her mouth along with gold. And I thought it'd be cool to kind of add that in a little bit.
That's good.
Like I kind of said before, I'll be going in with a domed brush and the black or primary 2 color out of the Anastasia lip palette. And I'll be starting in the very inner center part of my lip and lightly feathering it out to make it seem as if the black was fading from the inside to the outer edges of my lip. I later went back in with the lip brush and the little bit of brown that was left on it just to kind of blend and mesh the 2 colors together. Then with that small flat brush, I really packed on the Bare Minerals Gold Pigment, again starting from the inner center of my lip and fading it out. For liner, I used my L'Oreal liquid liner in black. I just created a long, pretty thick wing that also went tapered into the inner corners as well. I have those sharp inner corner wings. The reason why I decided to add those was in the second movie, she does have these black, like almost stick, like liquid things that like come out of her back. And I thought this would be kind of a cool way to represent it in makeup. I did use a small flat brush and some concealer to correct any mistakes I made with the liner and to make it a bit more crisp. Also, if in the event that some eyeliner gets on your lid, you can always use a damp Q-tip to kind of rub it or smudge it till it fades, and then if you have a dark smoky eye like I do, to go back over it with a fluffy brush and whatever's left on it, the pigment, and to blend it back over. It's extremely annoying when it happens, that. And I'll also be using that liquid liner just to do the inner corner and a little bit past the inner corner. Line, I'll be using the L'Oreal Infallible pencil liner in black and running that in between my lashes on my lower lash line as well as on my lower waterline and my upper waterline, just to really bring everything together and intensify it. After that, I'll be curling my lashes. For mascara, I'll be using the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. To get the most length I can possible, I'll be starting at the base of my lashes and wiggling up and through them. And that is all that I have for you guys for this look. If you like it, which I hope you did, please give it a like. Click that subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos from me, as well as that notification bell. And check out my last video if you wouldn't mind. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, pandas.